Hello out there. I'm Peter Ames Carlin, the author of Tonight in Jungle Land, which is about the making of Bruce Springsteen's 1975 album, Born to Run. I'm also the author of Bruce, a biography of Springsteen that was published in 2012, and a few other books. In 40 years of writing about popular culture, I've worked as a newspaper television critic, a senior writer for People magazine in New York City, and a freelance journalist for a bunch of magazines from the LA Times Magazine, the New York Times Magazine, Men's Journal, and Spy. I've been publishing these biographies of musicians for the last 20 years, and I can tell you, it's always a challenge to locate the real human behind the flash and bang of the pop music machinery. The vast majority of rock stars package themselves in so many layers of artifice that they're only underscoring the distance between real life and show business. But there are always exceptions to the rule. And as far as I'm concerned, Bruce Springsteen is the most striking. Right now, I'd like to invite you to my class, 5 things I've learned about artistry, identity, and authenticity from Bruce Springsteen, during which we're going to talk about what makes Springsteen such a powerful and inspiring artist, even in the face of his overwhelming commercial success. Now, I'm going to guess you know a few things about Bruce's story. He started in a small blue-collar town called Freehold, New Jersey, in the middle of the state, moved to Asbury Park, New Jersey as a young man, and built himself into a kind of working-class rock and roll superhero, a heavily muscled guy in jeans, leather jacket, and work boots, hoisting a sweat-soaked Telecaster guitar. And he also happened to be an advocate for the downtrodden and old-fashioned American progressivism, who also happened to be a great songwriter, a blazing guitar player, and one of the most exciting performers in the history of rock and roll. And on top of all of that, the guy radiated authenticity. No matter how many records he sold, no matter how much money he accrued, when he sang that he had debts no honest man could pay, you knew that was real deep down in his dark and troubled heart. But hang on a second, because Bruce also says that the real him isn't anything like the guy that you see on stage. As he said in his Broadway show in 2017, I come from a boardwalk town where everything is tinged with a little bit of fraud, and so am I. But that doesn't quite make sense because he doesn't come from Asbury Park, he comes from Freehold. Again, 20 miles away from the shore, no boardwalk, no flim-flam. Who knows? I spent quite a bit of time with Bruce when I was writing about him over the years, and I've gotten to know all members of his family, his friends, girlfriends, bandmates, ex-bandmates, fellow travelers. And what I learned along the way is that the real Bruce Springsteen and the concept of artistic authenticity is the product of a few crucial elements: life, art, artifice, and, as Bruce would be the first to admit, a little flim-flammery. In our 90-minute class, I'm going to introduce you to the real Bruce Springsteen. I'll tell you how he's managed to maintain both his artistry and his moral vision, even while being one of the world's biggest rock stars. You'll learn about his childhood home of Freehold and his haunts around the Jersey Shore, and you'll understand why he spent his life on the stages of the world and how this seemingly unremarkable working-class kid turned himself into the performer nearly everyone, for good or ill, persists in calling the boss. Along the way, we're going to talk about something even more: the ways in which every famous performer invariably becomes some combination of who they are and who they want to be, and how they use their artistry to bend the internal darkness into a light strong enough to illuminate the lives of people all over the world.